In this problem, Sheena recorded the amount of time in minutes it took to drive from her house to her office during a 5-day period. Her driving times are shown below. So here's how long it took her to drive each day. Right? First, it took her 65 minutes, then 50, then 56, 55, and 64. So that makes sense. It took her a different amount of time to drive to work each day. Right? Maybe the traffic was different, or she stopped somewhere. Who knows? What they want to know is what is the mean or average number of minutes it took Sheena to drive from her house to her office. So how do we find the mean? Well, we add all the numbers up that we have. 65 plus 50 plus 56 plus 55 plus 64, and then we divide by the number of numbers we have. Right? That's how you find the mean. So how many numbers do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So we divide by 5. So in this case, we're going to divide by 5. Now, before we get lost in the addition here, I want to discuss a nice intuitive way to add these numbers. Remember, with addition, if you're only adding, you can really add in any order and break these numbers up in any way that you want. So let's talk about breaking these numbers up. The first thing I'll do is add the 1 values. So my 5 and my 6 and 5 and 4. So these are really easy to add, right? Because 6 and 4 is 10. 5 and 5 is 10. So now we're almost done. And we're going to divide by 5. I'll leave that alone for now. Next, we're going to add our 10 values. And if you look at that, we have a 6 and a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 6. So how do we add these? Well, just think of them for a moment as, right, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6. Think of them as single digits here, because then we get 15. Right? 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. 6 plus 6 is 12. Right? Add these two up and we get 27. Now that doesn't mean our answer is 27. That means our answer is what? Well, 270. Why is that? Well, one nice connection, if we write the real numbers up here, we're adding 50 and 50 and 50. Right? These 5s and 6s here represents the number of 10s, and then 60 and 60. Right? If we were to really add those up, we would get 270. And look at the connection there. When you're adding up all these numbers, since they're all 10 times more than these numbers, the answer, right, is 10 times more than this number down here. For example, if I was just adding 7 plus 7, well, that's 14. What that means is 70 plus 70 is 140. Right? That's 0. You can see it. We're just tracking it. Because these numbers are each 10 times more than the original, their total answer is 10 times more. And this is a useful way to add. Because now, this is something really tough to add. But we can get a simple sum now. Right? 270 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10 is really 290. We're dividing that by 5. Now, how do we do this? Well, there's long division, of course, but there's an intuitive way to think about this as well. We should realize, first of all, that 5 times 20 is 100. That's a really helpful observation. Because then 5 times 40 has to equal 200. Right? 20 is half of 40. So this product is half of this one. And then we keep going. So I want to get to 300. And the reason is because 290 is very close to 300. So what does this mean? Well, every time I multiply 5 by 20, I get 100. So if I want to get 300, I should multiply 5 by 60, right? 60 is 3 20s. And that means 5 times 60 is 300. Now 290 is only 10 away from 300, right? 290 plus 10 is 300. So this number, 60, is too large, right? Because 290 divided by 5, right? What I'm doing, by the way, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to find what I have to multiply 5 by to get 290. That'll tell me the answer. That's why I'm doing this. So anyway, 5 times 60 is too large. 60 is not the answer. So we can cross out A and B. Those are both larger than 60. But, right, we need 290. So that's 2 less, 10 is 2 less 5s than 300. So we don't need 60 5s, we need 58 5s, right? That's 2 less 5s than 60, and that'll give us 290. So 5 times 58 has to be 290. And that's our answer. I hope I didn't lose you in this intuition, but the basic thing I was showing, here's a simple example. Since 12 divided by 6 is 2, right? This also means that 2 times 6 has to be 12. And this is a really important intuitive process. So when we were doing 290 divided by 5, I was trying to find what do I have to multiply 5 by, right? What mystery number do I multiply by 5 to get 290? So I started testing around. I knew that 5 times 60 was 300. It's really close to what we need, but it's 10 too big. So instead of 60, I took 2 away from that, which means 2 less 5s or 10 less, and I got the answer, 290. Alright, hope this helped.